match week 23, and we have four teams in for the Champions League places. And thanks to Chelsea, we have two available Champions League places now. But to join me for this chat, I have Zain, Sneha, Kumar, and Nishan. How's it going, guys?
Good. How you been?
Yeah.
Great going.
So
So
Nishant
far,
is
so
on the show
good.
for the first time. Chelsea fan. I'm going to get to your game first, and Sneha can save all the banter because you have the upper hand in this chat for once in your life. But to start with you, Zen, I wanted to start with this before Kumar comes out all guns blazing. Is that Fred has 3 assists in 3 games?
That's it. 3 games is all I'm happy with. Let's let him rest it out because he's done too much work now. So I hope Raf decides to make him like still. You have 3 assists. Enjoy your time, and let's Scott and probably Matic or anyone be in that midfield apart from him.
And Kumar, you're coming in to Old Trafford. You've lost the game at your home, but you're not in great form either. While you're ahead of United on points, but you're not in good form after your last game.
No, we are not in a good mood as of now because many of our players are in Africa. Now, Syed Benrahma is on his way back. He'll not be starting, he'll be on the bench, but we are hoping he'll score against United. And with Maguire in our team and Fred in our team, we are sure to get a result. So we'll be playing 13 against 9 on that day. And if Phil Jones plays, we will win 3-0.
I like how he started off as Klopp and then he suddenly turned into Roy Keane. You know, like we have AFCON players who are flying back. Benrahma's not got rickshaw, he's not reached the airport, and suddenly it's gone to Fred and Maguire. He's like, screw the entire team in the middle. We have two players there, we have nine with us, we'll play.
Yes.
But Zen, now reply to this. Maguire has not played his last couple of games, even though he's
Correct.
fit. Ralph has decided to leave him out. He also mentioned last time that he didn't shift to a three at the back earlier versus Villa, and hence, kind of gave the game up. He did that by bringing Maguire on. One,
Correct.
is that a tactic you want to see a Man United manager playing where he kind of goes on the back foot after he gets a couple of goals? And is Maguire really the right man to bring on?
So honestly, any tactic that includes Maguire and Fred on the bench, I'm happy with. I don't want to see those two guys in a United shirt right now. I'm happy with Lindelof. I'm happy with Varane and the four in the back. And to be honest, right now we're in such a stage where I kind of understand why they want to shut the doors after taking a lead because it's a very delicate stage. They don't know what we can expect from this team. This team can go out and trash the team out, or they can get trashed. They're in that kind of a level, and it all depends on the midfield. If our boy Scott McTominay throws some sauce on in the game, we're good to go. Because you saw
Yes.
in last week's game against Villa in second half what they could do after doing something after playing so badly. They just came out of nowhere, opened up the game, and they trashed the opponent. But it all depends on the midfield, to be honest. If these guys in the midfield show up and stand up to the challenge, then we're good to go. Because you know Ronaldo, you know if you give him a chance, he will kill. You know Bruno, you have that faith in him. And I feel Ralph will do a lot of changes. Like he'll change up the team. He won't go with the same starting lineup what he went with last time. He will put in Sancho. I have a feeling he will give Rashford another shot, and obviously Ronaldo and Bruno are going to be standard up front.
And Kumar, I mean, Bowen is your top scorer. He cannot stop scoring. He is probably the shortest man on the pitch who comes up with headers. He's like, Diogo Jota 2.0. Now, does that make you happy or does that also worry you that he is the only person who's getting the goals? Antonio probably chipping in with the assists, Fornals here and there, but not really gelling as a unit like you were mid-December or between November and December.
Yes, so we have had quite a few injuries, and these are all long-term injuries. I mean, Zuma was out; he's recovering fast. He'll be back in February. Ogbona's out for the season, so two of our main centre backs are out. Uh, so there was a dip in form. Secondly, the trend has been that we have played well against the bigger teams, and we have suffered defeats against the smaller teams. So hope that trend continues in this match. The so-called big team of Manchester United can lose to a so-called small team, West Ham United. And apart from that, Suchek is coming back after being infected from Corona. And so, I mean, the midfield will be the main part. Antonio's not getting goals. He's he's after signing a new contract. I think his job is done. He was actually scoring goals so that he can earn a new contract. Now that he's got a new contract, he stopped scoring goals. So we need to buy a striker out and out, and I hope that happens in this window.
The
That's all I
moment
can
he
say.
said so-called United small club, the baby started crying. He's like, no, I do not agree. But I'm going to bring Sneha and Nishant in. Now, Sneha, while we'll come to Spurs later, you've seen the West Ham run going on. You've seen what United has been doing. Antonio, new
I'm not.
contract.
I,
Oh,
I
wow.
was just zoned out. I'm
Okay.
like,
Then
United can go do whatever it wants to
we're
do.
gonna
And
move straight to Nishant. Speaking of strikers, now they want another striker, but uh, you've played both these teams. You've had mixed results against the both of them. You probably lost. I wouldn't say lost a point, but you probably had a chance to get the game, except for that mistake from Jorginho against United. You played
Right.
United. You played West Ham. Where do you see this game going?
I think probably this one we more or less headed for a win. It's long due, and one thing that we are probably banking on also from the recent events of those two legs that we've already won. So I think this shouldn't be a tough one. Just that the balance needs to be right, and as you probably would have started off, looking out for a right striker. I think Lukaku is definitely going to fire up like all balls blaze, and we're gonna have this one at home, and we're gonna win it.
Okay, I'm not going to hold back, but there are three confused faces because we were talking about the West Ham United game.
I think it'll be a win for United.
But
I
I like,
think
oh
a draw
wow,
would
you
be a win.
spoke. Zoned out fans have spoken.
No,
Here they are.
listen,
Tottenham has a
listen.
voice.
Come on, look at the way you see. Even the most veteran United fans have kind of been dejected from the team lately. So I think if you guys get a nice, cute little draw against West Ham, that would be a good result.
Then are you
That'll
noticing?
be-
Are you noticing
Ev-
empty cabinets are talking about cute little draws just
See,
because they have four
I don't
games in
understand
hand?
this empty cabinet nonsense. Okay, like
Yeah, I'll tell you. See, this is box of airport. What is inside? Nothing. That's your trophy cabinet. But I'm gonna go back to Kumar. Now, you have problems at the back, yes. But you said Suchek coming back, etc. But you have that one pivot in the middle, which is Rice. Now, as compared to what Zen said in terms of McTominay, you have probably, the goals in Antonio, probably Fornals, Bowen, we have the Ronaldos, etc. But do you think the battle is going to be one between a McTominay and Rice battle?
Yes, absolutely. So I mean, it's the midfield where it all starts. I mean, one loose ball you give and the opponent scores, and one ball you win and you can make your team. I mean, make an assist for your team. So it's all in the middle. But there was a mistake made against Chelsea by Declan Rice. Loose pass, and the Mount scored that goal. So it was the second goal in that match. So I mean, it can happen. But then Rice and Suchek have been very, like rock solid in the midfield. So it will be all in the midfield. And we just hope that Jesse Lingard does not come and spoil it us again for us. Come on in. He'll be a substitute. He'll come late on and he'll spoil it again for us. That's my only scare.
I got
That
your
is
hopes high, and here you go. That was a belter, though. What a goal that was. Okay,
Yes.
wrapping this up, I'm going to start with Zain. You heard that empty vessels make a lot of noise. Sneha,
of
scoreline.
course.
Honestly, I just genuinely a question. If you take away that whole empty vessel thing, is there anything else people have for Tottenham? Because I feel like United fans find solace in the fact that at least they have some history, because in
No,
future,
we have
for a long
nothing
time,
for
they
Tottenham.
can't
We have
see a
nothing.
win.
We have nothing for Tottenham. Like, I can talk about hatred for Fred, but I have nothing for Tottenham. It's like one of those numb, emotionless babies when it comes to you guys.
It's a
But
club which is always there. But
yeah, it's just there. Like, khila
Yeah,
lo,
it's a
theek
club
hai.
that's slowly going to over
Okay,
next few
we'll
years,
talk
maybe
now about your
take
club with your
United's
games in
Slowly.
hand.
place in top
You,
four.
you give
Just
Scola, you see, they're fighting for top four. Your ambitions are only sadela. You're not even going for, you're fighting for top four. How can you
what?
fight for title and you settle for top four? No, how
Of
you
course,
can
this
fight for
season
top
is
four?
about this season is about top
One
four.
second.
Give
Sorry.
one summer to
From
Conte.
2007 till now, you tell me what you're fighting for. And that little 5 points you
Wait,
gave
we
close to.
were
I said, wait,
the last
watch out,
person.
seven. Arey, Dolly Bindra, 1 minute. Wait. We'll talk about that. But first, you tell me West Ham United scoreline.
1-1.
Cute little draw. Here we go.
Cute little
Zen.
draw, of course.
you know me, I'm all about the goal 3-2 to United.
And Kumar, you want us to do a double on you?
No, not really. So it will be Mark Noble to score the winning penalty this time. So he missed the penalty against United in the first meeting in the season. So he will score the winning penalty and we'll win 2-1.
I have
But there is
Karan
no
Johar's
why
number.
only
I'll
you
give it to you.
give the penalty away.
I know, and I also have
Sorry?
Karan Johar's number. You have nice stories. You give him. Mark Noble will score
Yeah.
penalty and all. Nishant, scoreline,
Yeah,
West
he
Ham
will.
United versus Man United.
I think West Ham is gonna win this one, 1-0.
Thanks. We know who we're not having on the show next time. Okay, now we're finally coming to the game where Zain and me will keep quiet. Chelsea Spurs. Sneha, I will start with you. 4 games in hand, 8 points behind third place. Did you ever think in the beginning of the season that you would be here?
Yes. Why wouldn't you hope for that?
No, I mean not like on the first day, like when you're cutting ribbon and all. I'm saying after the start you guys had.
See, after we got Conte, that was definitely something we saw happening. And I mean, like, there's a lot of trauma to deal with after Nuno's departure and all of that. But if you look at least the kind of form we have had in Premier League since Conte has arrived, it's been quite nice. And like, just even say, for example, looking at the game that we had with Leicester, it's the kind of change in mentality, the change in like drive, and players are a bit more sharper. We've also figured out which players are just not going to play for us, and it's not an issue of manager. It's an issue of, well, perhaps them either not enjoying being at club or they should maybe play somewhere else, whatever. But this is a place that we would want to be after having Conte over, and that's what I would. Honestly, I wish that we sign 1 or 2 nice players in this January window if it's possible, and really seal the deal for Champions League positions next season.
Take
And
Fred.
Nishant, you've had what?
They can take Fred.
Yeah, take West Ham
Nahi,
United both are saying take.
out of
Three.
kindness of my heart, I'll gift you Doherty, I'll gift you Dyer if you really need it, because you guys seem to be in a more shaky place. Like I'll
Okay.
We'll take all of
Okay.
that.
Okay, once social service is over, I would want to get on with the game. Now, gift you Dyer, take Fred. What are the market or buying or Andheri station? Nishant,
Yeah.
we've taken them over 2 legs in the cup, but in the Premier League, now Chelsea have taken 17 out of a possible 39 points, and that is where your entire season has turned on its head. You
Right.
were top of the table one point at a time. You were playing some good football, keeping the clean sheets. You have injuries, major injuries in your fullbacks. You're missing your keeper due to AFCON. Now, does that change the mentality, saying that okay, that was a cup game, this is the Premier League where Spurs are doing better than us, and also considering the fact that your ex-manager is coming back?
To a great extent, I'd say yes, it does. The goalkeeper part that we are lagging in, we definitely feel that there should be a strong stand behind, and the way Mendy has been, it's phenomenal. With Premier League, the way it's taking shape and the way Spurs been playing, I think they are at a strong place. However, not going or withstanding the fact that Chelsea can't cover up or they can't continue to sustain the form. Just that we need a few wins on our plate. We need a midfield to stay strong and just make the game for our forwards. That can be held strong, and we did see during the Man City game just one sloppy one miss from Conte, but otherwise I think it was good. I think they did well, and defense has been consistent. So yeah, with James being fit, with Kovacic and your Jorginho playing throughout, I think we can have a formidable lineup to sustain through and win more games.
In Sneha, you play these guys in the cup. I'm going to come back to that. But like you said, under Conte, Spurs have gone from covering the least distance under Nuno to covering the most distance by a Spurs team under Conte. He's come out openly and he said in press conferences that we're probably not in pole position for top 4. Now that can either be mind games or that can be the truth. Now, do you think that Spurs is good enough to actually overcome this Chelsea challenge, keeping in mind Chelsea's form and keeping in mind that you guys have had a good run of fixtures? Or do you think that this is another game where, somewhere or the other, this young team or this inexperienced team under an Antonio Conte system might just choke?
I honestly will go to this match with the same idea that I had while going to the Liverpool game, that you want the team to do best and you want them to show a strong mentality. Like ideally, yes, we'd like to win, but being very, very honest, Chelsea is a better team than us right now, and they have had a much better form. I mean, not even talking about the league game. I feel like that's slightly different, given that the kind of squad even we fielded was like, why did you make those certain decisions? But that's fine. Like he explained later on that he wanted those players for the Premier League game. So sure. So it's not really that if we lose this, we are, in a negative position. This is like a win-win game for us. Either we put a really solid fight and, we show that grit, we show that mentality, and the fans are happy at the end of it saying, hey, you were playing till the final whistle went off, and that's great. I like you playing good and with attention.
Yeah, you were playing
And
like, no, 85 minutes, I'm not playing.
yeah,
Bye.
no, but that's actually what happens with Spurs, right? Like in some games we have seen in past that in the last 10 minutes you just see players shrugging off and collectively sighing and resigning, but that's not happening now, and that's what we want as a team. Like it sounds really basic, but that's what we want to do. We want to have those basics completely nailed down, and with us, the way I see it, Chelsea is just a fun little rival that we go and visit. And if we win, awesome. If we draw, okay, cool. It's just part of process that, the route that we have taken and moving
I
forward.
feel like
So,
I feel
I
like
think,
I'm talking.
yeah, the
I feel like
word,
I'm talking to a panda sometimes. United as a cute little draw. Chelsea's a fun
Yeah.
little rival.
dude, it
City is
is
a
just
nice looking
literal as a
leader.
word that's going all over the place. It's like
Yeah,
the
it's like
Spurs are like giants and everyone else is
Yeah,
so
yeah.
but that's
little.
not
I mean,
true,
like, what
right?
are we
That's what
looking
Spurs
I'm
at?
won the
saying.
Premier
Maybe
League.
you
They're
were not
playing the rest
listening
of the
to
Premier
me.
League to win the Champions League.
You were not probably listening to me. I'm saying
So
that we're a work in progress, and every I just think that we keep looking at achieving this one big goal. But if that was the case, then half the teams in the Premier League would just resign and stab themselves, because that's never probably going to happen for them. Over here,
And
it's having
Over
growth.
here it's more like, yeah, they played like two little fixtures and they lost both.
too
I mean,
little.
that's
I
again
like
little.
this.
That's,
There
yeah,
is
I
a
mean,
As
jargon
we've
long
that
as
had like
the
what, 9 undefeated games under Conte. So I guess I'll take it. It's not a bad sign,
and
especially
I
given
also
where we
wanted
were
to
before that. So
yeah,
like
exactly. I was just about to come
that's,
to
and
that.
I'm
And
talking
also
from perspective of a team which is, as I said before, just not as good as Chelsea squad is. And we also have some injuries. So for
yeah,
me,
and
honestly, a better opponent to gauge against rather than Chelsea would be Arsenal, because they are not that good.
no, they have too
They're
many
not that
injuries and
little.
they
They're
have too
So
not that
many injuries
little.
and Partey is not slept. But now coming to probably what would have been considered the biggest threat to Spurs. And Nishant, I want to ask you this, and all the Chelsea fans that you are representing at this point of time, where Lukaku came on against Aston Villa, he shrugged off Konsa, and Instagram was filled with the beast is back. Now, first of all, I want to know why the did you chain him up for him to be back? And now that he's back, I want to know why the he is not performing.
So okay, that beast is back. I know where that's coming from. That was
Where?
something that was there very much on my status.
And no,
And
no, no, it's
yeah,
not you. It's all of you. And I'm sorry to say, but you're kind. But where is this Lukaku? I want to see him. He scored 2 goals in 15
the
minutes and then he vanished.
Yeah, I think, but see, for now, the way it's all looking like is Lukaku is probably falling short of that support from the midline. He is there, right? Up. He's there to fire it in, but he's lagging in that the people to run it across or probably get him in the right place or give him the right ball. I think that's where it's missing out for him or everybody for that matter. The way it's been in the last two games, each one is trying to get to that the last mile, and then they feel like, okay, now we should have passed rather than doing it beforehand so that they could get the game in sync and moving forward. I think he's missing that fire from the midline is all I'd say.
But
He's there, very
even
much there.
decision making, I mean, you saw the game versus City. There was a ball where
Yeah,
he tried this unbelievable pass to Ziyech, who was off, like he was offside. He was miles
right,
offside, where he had Alonso right there.
correct.
Now,
He was Alonso was all over.
exactly. And coming to Alonso, now considering that Bergwijn has kind of put his little foggy boots on of these last minute goals, he is going to be playing on the side of Alonso. So do you think that is the part where the game is going to be won or lost?
Believe it. Uh,
Because
I
Alonso
believe
doesn't like pace.
Alonso, I believe he can make it. He can make it. He would not like pace, but he can definitely make it from the level that he is playing in. So definitely looking for a win, I think.
Okay,
Alonso
and
doesn't like defending, period.
no, Alonso loves attacking,
Alonso,
defending. I don't know. He doesn't like it. No, he doesn't like defending. Like,
He doesn't like defending, period. He just wants
yeah.
to attack.
But okay, I'm gonna come to Kumar, considering that all four teams are fighting for those remaining two spots for the Champions League. For you, obviously, an ideal result would be a draw. But where do you see this game going in terms of the scoreline?
Yeah, I see it as a draw only. I mean, it will be a high scoring draw, of
You
course.
hope
It
it
will
as
be
a draw,
probably a
James.
2-all. So it's like a 2-all or a 3-all, hoping for a draw. And at least if not a draw, then I hope Chelsea wins because Spurs has a lot of matches in hand. And I mean, that's what I'm scared of.
He's just lost one follower. But Zen, coming to you, again, fighting for top four. Where is this game going? Of course, you also hope for a draw, and so do I. But
Of course, of
current
course.
form, looking at players, 1v1 battles, where do you see this game going?
See, like Chelsea has a better squad. We've already established that. But Tottenham's form is something to be messed around with. I would honestly feel Tottenham might make it 2-1.
And I just feel that, we've been talking about it in the studio as well. I think Tottenham is just gaining that advantage because no one's really talking about them. So, under the radar, they're just like,
Exactly. Yeah.
they've suddenly come to a position where now they are, in the best place to be third. Even if they lose this game, they still have like 3 games in hand. And if they win those, they'll still be 2 points behind Chelsea. So every scenario kind of works for them. And keeping that in mind now, Nishant, you obviously want a win, you want to get the form back, but
Yeah.
realistically, what is the scoreline for this game?
I think 2-1 Chelsea wins.
Wow, no one's keeping clean sheets, or don't like fantasy football and all that.
Mendy is still
So
not there, so keeping just keeping
But most
consideration for that little team to score one at least.
used to see midday odd on the second day. That fun fact used to come. Kepa, most expensive keeper in the world. How you can say like that, not keeping clean sheet?
now most
He's so
expensive
he's
striker in the
trying,
world.
yeah, he's putting in his efforts, but the problem is again being on bench for long can't give you that kind of on-field exposure. It's nothing against him, but that's the harsh truth of life.
And I bet you $10, Lukaku's gonna come out and be like, if this was Inter Milan, we would have beaten Spurs, but I can't say with Chelsea, no?
He's gonna score it for us. Don't worry. You wait for it.
We've had enough of those memes and all of that. Okay, done.
Yeah.
Lukaku is no more an Inter Milan player. But Sneha, finally, realistic scoreline.
So, taking a couple of things into account, Harry is really sharp. We are more present and intentional in the final third. Conte is like going back to his ex's house, and so I'm hoping that he packs in a punch. And
Suddenly felt I was like hosting
Ah.
Splitsvilla or something like that. Like I was like,
Yeah, dude.
Conte in Chelsea's breakup was
Conte has
really
become a wife
nasty
beater,
and
basically.
so
Yeah.
expensive. So I imagined like there would be some pent up frustration and emotion there. Anyway, so taking all this into account, I want to be optimistic and say that we score 2, they score 1. Maybe Lukaku can have his moment, and we score 2. And even if I mean, I just want like a lot of drama. I just want it to be a nice, active, fun
Yeah,
game.
that Conte will do. He'll run all around with that one goal of yours. He'll run all over the field. Like, yeah.
he'll probably run faster than Alonso. I mean, what I remembered with this, we scored 2 goals, we scored 1 is one of those Jose interviews. Like, Jose, you lost the game. Like, yeah, they scored 2 goals, we scored 1 goal. But anyway, we're going to move on to Watford Norwich relegation
one
battle.
second.
We're going to
Do you
run.
guys
Oh,
wanna
wait, you have
hear-
more to say. Yes.
Do you want to hear a really fun story about the Chelsea owner that I recently found out?
Yes, but quickly.
Okay, very quickly. So, before Putin, there was another guy who was the president of Russia, and this guy's like, I'm going to make Putin my puppet person, except he didn't know that Putin was a scummy person himself. So, before he assigned him, he sent one of his political advisors to be like, hey, what's Putin like? Like, does he just hang out with KGP dudes or does he hang out with other people as well? So this political advisor guy sends his protege to Putin's birthday party and be like, give me a report on what Putin is like. Who does he hang out with? Does he have affairs? What is his relation with his wife? All of that like juicy gossip back. And that fellow who did recon mission on Putin and eventually came back and said, oh, he's top lad, let's make him the next guy, was Roman Abramovich.
Okay, and guys, welcome back to Big Boss. But anyway, I'm gonna have to cut this out of the show probably at some point when I get Russian and YouTube threats. But in
Well,
that
you know
case,
how
I will-
excited she was. Like, I'll tell you a story.
I was just
Yeah,
reading
like
a book
I'll
about
tell you a
Putin.
story that is gonna get you guys killed. Screw you all. We kill all of you and then Tottenham wins the league. But
I think it's a
am
good
going
day
to
to be
go.
on the show, huh?
Yeah, right. You had some IP address blocker, right? They're not going to get your address or anything like that. But
From
anyway,
protege sent here, some sent there.
no, but I won't name people, but I also have a friend who said that VAR goes against Chelsea because of the Russian connection, and then there was some connection to Brexit. So I mean, it's okay. People drink and say stuff. It's fine.
Oh no,
Zain,
this is well documented, by the way. It's not. It's that there's a reason why.
Very glad you're watching this, but I would also appreciate you not putting three very nice people's lives at threat. Now, Zain, I'm going to quickly come to you with Watford Norwich, both relegation battle scoreline.
Honestly, Watford will have more firepower definitely than Norwich. It'll be like a 3-1 nine-out for Watford.
Okay, and Sneha, Everton versus a brand new Aston Villa, considering Coutinho and Digne are here, and there are Luis Suarez talks. Everton,
definitely Villa wins. Plus Everton just had said bye-bye to their coach. So there is, I think the caretaker manager is going to be there. So I expect Villa to like run with it. So 2-1, 2-0, I don't know. I mean, sorry, 1-2, 0-2. Yeah.
You decide, you tell us, you message me and tell me.
नहीं, अरे मैं भूल गई कि I was saying 2
He's
for
given
Villa.
3-4 games ka scoreline.
Yeah, 1, 2, 2, 1, 4, 5. And suddenly, some Russian guy like, how does she know my code? But anyway, Kumar, Brentford versus Wolves, they're both great sides, except for Brentford's manager, who apparently thought he destroyed Man United in the first half, but it was 0-0. And Wolves, who are second for the least amount of goals conceded in the league. So, a scoreline for this game.
Wolves to win 2-1. Wolves are in a better form and Brentford have been losing games of late. So Wolves to win 2-1.
And Nishant, quickly coming to you, Leeds versus Santiago Munez's home side, that's Newcastle. Leeds coming off a win, Newcastle still trying to figure where to throw money at opponents to get a win out of a game. But where's this one going?
I might totally sound off, but I think Newcastle is gonna get a one-up on this one. I know that rock bottom they're hit bad, but I think they're just trying to sustain strong with last 2 draws, and I think they're eyeing for that win since long. So, and I'm not denying the fact that the Leeds are not winning; they've won the last 2 games, but I think Newcastle is definitely gonna look out for a win in this one.
There's a door next to you. Open it. There'll be some oil and some dirhams lying in a bag. But
I'm all anti. I kind of predict what team are you gonna support, and should I just fire it at you?
no, I'm not. I'm mad about it. I don't like Leeds. Okay, Bielsa. Okay, I like his knee power and all of that. But otherwise,
no. But
okay,
Newcastle is gonna do it. 1-0.
What's up?
1-0 to Newcastle. Zen, Southampton, Man City. Now, even though current fixture results rather between these two teams have not been in favor of Southampton, but they're in good form. Ward-Prowse is just a new player this season. And you think Man City is the kind of team that's going to say, okay, we have a good enough lead at the top. We can let this one go.
Yeah, they'll let it go. They'll only score 4 goals instead of scoring 5.
Lovely. There's a KDB captain. And how I have waited for this moment because my permutation has come out right. But Sneha, Arsenal versus Burnley.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, why? Ideally, listen, I mean, like realistically
I want to hear
speaking,
it. Wait, recording it properly. Go.
Realistically speaking, I think Arsenal will win this over Burnley. But just Just for
I want to
lols.
see how she defends Burnley. I want to see.
I don't know. Just
Chris Wood
because
is
it
also
would make
gone
me
now.
happy.
Yeah, I know.
It would make for good memes. Come on, it's for all of us. Unless there is an Arsenal sympathizer lying somewhere. It's good for all of us if Burnley wins, no? But I think
Yes,
it's
of course.
Arsenal's going to win 1-0. So yeah.
Say it again, say it again. People disperse fans in hear you. Again, loudly. Clear vocab, please.
This is like
Arsenal.
after yeah, never mind. I'm not doing it. I don't want
Generally
hate mails
from
from
Russia
Spurs
with
fans.
love.
I'm not worried
Yeah.
about Putin. I'm worried
I
about
threw
this.
Man City at Zayn. I threw Arsenal at you. I'm probably going to throw Crystal Palace, Liverpool at Kumar. No Salah, no Mane, but they showed against Arsenal that they honestly, I mean, they can do without it. They have the goals, but only in Jota. So considering they're strong at the back, do you think they have enough in the front to down this Crystal Palace side because they're in form of late?
Yeah, they are in form, but I think Liverpool will win it easy, 2-0, 3-0. I don't see Crystal Palace scoring against Liverpool.
And Nishan, the final game, Leicester versus Brighton, which I feel probably would, apart from the spotlight games, be one of the most entertaining games because both these teams
Yeah.
are playing some really good football. Brighton, I personally feel that, they've done very well. And again, permutations have worked out because they have scored 2 equalizers against you and broken your heart so bad that it's just too good to
Real
watch.
bad. Yes, they held us, man. They literally held us. No denying that. They held us back, and they've actually improved a lot. But again, for me, for the scoreline for this one, I think Leicester wins this one.
And also to bring out the fact, since Zayn is on call and he's been quiet, Danny Welbeck scored the equalizer in the 93rd minute in the first leg.
Lord Welbeck. Enough said. Lord Welbeck.
Lord has done it against Chelsea. Lingard's done it against West Ham. I mean, I have nothing to say against Spurs actually because I think the last result was a 6-1 and then I don't even remember because I stopped watching their games. Yes, it's finally out of my system.
They're the under the radar team, now. They like
Yeah. No, they have
Good,
games
no,
in
good
hand.
for us. Well, under the radar, we went all the way to Champions League final. Under the radar, maybe next season we'll even like run away with the trophy. So it's okay.
Oh, good optimism.
Like, continue.
Now, what is there in life if not hope? So
But with Spurs fan, it's only optimism. That's what it is.
That's
could
it.
be
You
because
all
I
said
could be a
that,
United
right?
fan.
Since
Sorry,
2007, they have been optimistic, right?
Yeah.
Leicester should not be criticized. Like, it's fine.
I mean, Daniel Levy is bald and so is Vishal Dadlani. Vishal Dadlani has more football trophies than Levy. He's won Charcoal
Okay.
League and all. At least that top he has.
Fine.
Say.
Trophies.
I want to see final day of the season. I'm getting you back on the show to see where Spurs is.
Yeah, okay, cool. No, it's fine.
Just expression. Mute show it will be.
Okay.
Only expression. If it's fourth, I won't be on the show. If it's below fourth, you won't talk. Deal is
Actually,
done.
not really. I mean, I think initially after the way Nuno left us, I think as a club, they were optimistically hoping for a Europa League position. But now that, we have a lot more time on our hand and we have a better manager and like our players are really pumping up. So top four is a good realistic
Yeah,
goal
I
to
mean,
have.
it's because of the manager. But before we end the show, I would also want to bring to your notice that you lost to a club that's logo does not exist on Google. Just saying. I'm just putting it out there. It's for you to like ponder.
Okay, another
ponder
thing
over
to
for
put
some
out there.
time.
I mean, if we play
Yeah.
our under 23 or under 19 or like academy lads, cool.
No, it's like sometimes you want to be like, okay, Tottenham versus, and then you're like, shit, what is the name? It's like, okay, I'll ask Google. Oh, but no. Anyway, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being on this show. We have gone overtime, but it has been fun. Good luck to all your teams and Spurs. But it was a pleasure having you on the show. Sneha, we will meet on game week 38. Until then, stay home and stay safe, guys.
Yeah, chalo, thanks.
See you.
Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you, guys.